Hello, everyone. This is Sheniynah Richardson of SheRich Educational Consulting here with Inclusive and Diversified Classroom Management 101. This is blog number 25, Keeping It Real. There are many popular quotes encouraging us to be our authentic selves, such as, if you're going to be like everyone else, who's going to be you? Another popular quote is, you are the only person that can stand in the way of your very own success. But how many of us actually accept the challenge of unapologetically reaching our stratospheric potential? What stops us from being our genuine selves or from keeping it 100? Berg and Mann's fourth law of stratospheric success is the law of authenticity, or like I'm calling it, keeping it real. Unfortunately, as a school leader, you cannot fake it until you make it. Whatever is inside of you will be released into the universe. And we want our release to be real, authentic, 100, that reflects the best part of who we are. The best way school officials can attract and retain qualified teachers is if the leadership is true. Back to the question, what stops us from being our genuine selves? What is it that prohibits effective leadership? Number one, we choose not to believe in ourselves. We channel negative energies that support the idea that who we are is not good enough. We assume that if we embody the mannerisms of those who outwardly appear to be successful, then we can reach their heights or be on their level, if you will. The next interruption is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of criticism, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the knowns and the givens, fear of loss, fear of sacrifice, fear of change, just fear. Fear is a real emotion. It is an emotion that bullies us into submission. No one wants to be uncomfortable. However, fear will bully us into our own personal defeat. We run from every situation that appears to be threatening. However, if you're going to be a leader of influence and impact, you must face your fears. Take hold of truth and authenticity when you find yourself in the eye of the hurricane, because that is the only anchor that you have, is being who you are and the best of who you are. Fear facing remedies your weakness. The longer the process is avoided, the more power it has, yielding you to complacency and stagnation and the death of your dreams. Some may say, I can live with my fear just as long as I don't get found out. But facing this bully is inevitable. It's better to subdue your fears than to be cornered by them at any given stage on your pathway to stratospheric success. The third interruption is unhealthy competition and comparison. He bakes cookies, she bakes cookies too. He baked cookies on the north side, she baked cookies on the south side. But the subtle difference is the marketplace. Who is buying the cookies? Now, the audience Baker 1 attracts is not necessarily the same audience that Baker 2 attracts. That's why understanding your unique marketing value is important. You must identify your own worth, your own flair, and run with it. Be authentically you, yourself, because you are good enough. Okay, moving forward. There is no need to compare or compete when you are operating in the arena of your best self. You will never be able to live someone else's dream. You will only be able to live out your own. Live by the motto, often imitated, never duplicated. Always be an original brand, because no matter your title, you are the brand. No matter what the building is called that you work under, you are still the brand. When you obsess about what someone else has or what someone else is achieving, you fall short of fulfilling your intended purpose. Number 4, the next interruption to authenticity is letting your emotions run the show. No one likes a kitty baby whiner. You look incompetent and as if you lack self-control when you do this. Being a compulsive complainer is just not a good look. As a leader of impact and influence, you must go when you don't want to go. Be equitable and fair even when it seemingly does not serve you, and own up to miscalculations. Helen Keller warned against having sight with no vision. If you cannot visualize success in your mind's eye, your decisions will manifest whatever you believe. Sometimes being a leader can be lonely. It can require the extension of more patience than you want to give. It also may require supporting teammates who openly oppose you or disagree with you. It is human nature that we have emotions and that we become emotional. However, we must not let our feelings override our objectives and our mission. The 4th interruption in the plight to achieving stratospheric success is becoming a human recycling bin. Don't be the leader that absorbs a bunch of negative waste, trying to refurbish and recycle everyone else's junk. What junk? What am I calling junk? You know, the office rumors, the lies, the validation of the mistreatment of others within the workplace, and gossip, and being culturally insensitive. Those types of things. Don't look at me like that. It exists in every workplace. If you saturate your presence with doubters and downers, you cannot possibly be your best authentic self. You are what you eat. And if you chew on lemons all the day long, then you will become a lemon head. Absorbing negative energy is redundant. Every leader will face challenges, setbacks, and hurdles. So why elect to nurture the very variables that separate you from stratospheric success. It's too much. Number 5. The last thing is not to give in so easily because things become difficult. Give things time to run its course, and when the dust settles, it will become clear as to whether your talents are best served in another location or another capacity. In the meantime, keep believing and keep striving towards the greater good. Believe beyond the evidence. Be strong, be steadfast. Know that the law of compensation will not return to you void. You put good in, you get good out. To everything, there is a season. So be mindful to look for the signs to indicate what season you're in so that you may respond accordingly. Before I wrap up, on a personal note, I would like to insert. Some may be wondering, what are my credentials for providing advice to school leaders? May say, I know Miss Richardson, and I know her resume does not reflect being a principal. It does not reflect being an academic coach. She's never been a superintendent of a school district. She has been just a teacher. Well, as just a teacher, I have worked in varying school districts, and the common denominator that I have found was a huge disconnect between the administration and the people who followed them. Things were done by personal preference rather than making rules that ensured the equity and the safety of everyone that was involved. And these decisions were made without the consultation or the considerations of the little people. So, having had such experiences, I have thought to myself, if I was in that situation, what would I do? How would I respond, and how would I treat other people? And in 8 times out of 10, I would have done things very differently, and I would have held it down for my people. And if there was a goal or objective that I could not reach, I would explain why. And my whole point would be to just be fair and be equitable and treat everyone with respect. It's like the guy from the fable who had the golden goose. He wanted the goose to keep laying those golden eggs. However, he did not take care of the goose. So, a lot of times, teachers are not taking care of it. They're like the last thought, and it's like, okay, we figured this, now just do it. So, my experience has come from being on the short end of the stick and seeing my friends and my colleagues be on the short end of the stick. So, basically, this blog is just talking to my former school leadership and just expressing some ideas about how the next teacher does not have to go through some of the things that I've gone through and some of the things my fellow colleagues have gone through, as well as, some of my friends that work within the district. So take heed. And if you really want to fix the problem, then you must be open-minded to receive. Because ultimately we know that that golden goose end up dying. And that's what's happening to our educational system today. It's dying. And you can say all you want to that it's not, but a true change has to take place. And it starts by being real and addressing the real issues. This is not a time to sweep things under the rug and continue business as usual, because it has failed us in the past. And you want to continue in a pattern that wasn't really working at first, and now with everything that's going on, you want to continue that pattern. And even before Corona, it wasn't working. And now you think that it's going to get better if you keep doing the same things and keep looking over the obvious elephant in the room that needs to be addressed. So, teachers make the difference. Your organization is only as strong as your teachers. They are the ones that face the challenge and have to deal with the students and deal with the parents. They lay golden eggs on a daily basis. So, that is my spiel, and that is my certification for being able to speak to leaders. And if it hit you some kind of way, then that's good, because that means it's something to think about, it's something to reconsider, and it's growth, and growth is good. It's uncomfortable, but it's good for everyone. Peace and love, y'all. I'll see you next week, where I will be closing out my school leadership series with the last law to stratospheric success. Stay safe. Bye.